If we're trading C3, we need to wait for H1. We need a close below the 13 EMA. We also want to see at least a pattern here. So early entries, we might use this level here. It's possible. But at the same time, remember, this is really not enough to give you like a full pattern. Because sometimes if you notice what happened yesterday, we also had like this high and this level here. We actually broke and retested, but price failed to continue coming down. This is a failed setup. Stop loss gets hit. Another pattern forms here. You can see it's the same pattern which we trade, but it failed again here. Price came up. Then here pattern didn't close below the OB. Then eventually, after extending the high, they eventually formed a pattern. Then they started pushing down. So more or less the same to be expected today. Here we for now we don't have a guarantee that we're actually going to fall down. So we would love this price to actually drop without us initially so that we can confirm that we really are in a sell motion. Then we'll anticipate a retracement. Right now, we cannot sell a current market price until we get that confirmation. We need that drop, that impulsive move. Even if they can break this level as well, that will be perfect. Then we'll anticipate price to either react right off that broken zone, number one, number two, the 50 EMA, number three, the order block. So those will be the points of entry if price shows sells. Otherwise, for now, we just need to be a little patient. One thing to take note is if you've got levels like this, you see we had this high in this level. If you've got a point of interest at the top, usually most of the times price will come take out this liquidity and actually come tap above. This can be true for let me quickly shade as well so that you guys can see that these patterns are the same. This is also true for okay, it's more or less a liquidity hunt, but within the same concept. So what I wanted to show here, what happened on US30, right? If you zoom in, you see the sell was actually in motion right here. Broke structure, nice pattern, good sell here, but they actually decided to come take out those highs. One, two. I think this is now the new all-time high, if I'm not mistaken. So they set a new all-time high. All early sellers were taken out because obviously stop losses were within these areas. Those who were trailing were already moving stop losses. So this price came to destroy all those before price moved in motion. So that's one thing I thought, let me share. If you see a pattern like that with a significant zone slightly above, just know that price will most likely push up into that significant zone before they start selling. So right now, we need an impulsive move first. Then after we get the impulsive move, we need the retracement. So we need almost something like this on the left. Like you need your impulsive move, then you need your retracement. Either price retraces into a fair value gap or an order block or a moving average. So that's what we'll be waiting for on C3. Then going to C1, we actually had eventually they gave a nice quick sell. But if you notice, price then still pushed up. I believe daily, okay, daily was held by the 13 EMA as you see. 13 EMA held the daily. So right now, price will most likely push to the 50 EMA. That's when I'll only be looking for sells. I still have that feeling that if we get that reaction and start pushing back down, we will still come react with this level here. You see, we didn't react with it here. That possibility is there, but for now, I feel like today, for now, we are bullish until we get around. We're already on yesterday's high. Okay, wait, let me just check something quickly. Okay, so that point of interest, the 50 EMA on the daily is somewhere up here. All right, so most likely we might get up here, or we could actually get this price reacting here. So if we're going to sell from this point, the safe entry will be this zone here. So the last H1 candle, you want to mark the low. By the time price breaks that low, we will be trading below the 13 EMA. So that will be a confirmed sell. If we do come below this last candle's low, that will be a sell. And that setup is based on yesterday's high level. So if we do respect this level, then we'll see price come crash this, then we can sell. But if they don't do that, price might still actually continue pushing up. Then maybe we might look for an intraday reversal maybe later on. But for now, this is a point of interest for sales. And right here, it's based on how price is going to react on this area. So if we do this, then we'll most likely sell. Even if we do something like this, then maybe come back up, then do this, will most likely sell. But if we stay above this zone, then price will most likely be pushing up, and this will now turn into a support zone. So that's it for C1. Nothing major for now as well there. C5 gave nice sells yesterday. There was a sell. I remember we were waiting for it here, right on this zone here, but they ended up respecting the previous day's low. Then they broke an order block, gave an impulsive move, took out liquidity, then retraced. So if you're waiting for sell, most likely you would have waited for it here, or you would have waited for it at the break of this order block here, because at some point this was the lowest high before this was created. So here we did not get a close. Price extended that lower high to here, new order block broken, this level broken, retested. So the best entry for this setup based on our trading system would have been anywhere around this area. So looking at it today, what do we have? Okay, just hold. All right, so today, bias still bearish. If you, I wanted to highlight something on C5. Do you notice that this price all of a sudden became bearish soon as we broke this level here? We're waiting for them here. They broke, retested. There's breaks and retesting of levels happening here. We broke this. Most likely this price will get here, but we've fallen for such a long time without even retracing up. So two things can happen today. Either the sales will continue, so we are open to getting or to taking sales anytime when the H1 is below the 13 EMA. We'll be open to sales, but right now price can potentially retrace. If you notice on these two levels, there was no clear retest. Here we've got a break, we've got a retest. Here we've got a break, we've got a retest. Then here we've got a break, strong break, and no retest of this level here. So I feel like there is chance that price can still come up into the zone before these sales actually continue. Or today's candle might actually be bearish, but they won't get here yet until they give a retracement. That's my daily chart view. So today, either price will be bullish coming back up here, or we'll actually get sales. So for us to actually sell, you can see I've got this broken zone here, which can most likely be retested. Let me see where it's lying. Okay, it's right on this the wick of this candle right there. But I'll just remove this because we already have a gray line. So if you go to back to H4, you see if price reacts there, it might show that we've got momentum in the markets and we can most likely continue pushing down, but we won't get to the 200 EMA on H1 before we get a deeper retracement. That's what I think. As long as we respect this, we're going to take ourselves here. Excuse me. So jumping down to H1, there's the zone right there on top there. It was actually retested yesterday here, so price will most likely come into it again today. We also have an order block which was not retested here, so that's also where price can still extend to, giving us that deeper retracement before we actually get any form of sales. So on H1, you want to mark the order block which was broken but not retested yesterday. That's our point of interest, which is on 44.85. Okay, point of interest for sales is the broken order block which was not tested. So if price extends nicely, breaks this level and comes here, if we get a pattern on M15, we can execute a sell. That's number one. Number two, if we come back below this zone, we'll also be adding onto those cells. Then if we are below the 13 EMA, that will give us more confluence. And we expect the price to run all the way to yesterday's low or slightly below. So that's my view on C5. For now, I'm going to leave it on this chart. What will make me sell C5 without seeing it break or go to those areas which you mentioned? I'll actually consider selling if we do break today's lows. It might seem a little bit far, but we'll see. I'll see what will be happening. Let's say H1 right now comes and closes below the 13 EMA. If we get a close below here, M15 has to give me a pattern so that I can enter before price gets here for a possible continuation to the downside. The TP will be open or otherwise target 50 to 100 pips on the sell. So let me see M15. Okay, I'm very open to seeing this price come above, create high. Remember, like I said, we've got a significant zone above where price currently is. So yes, they might show that they want to sell, but they might still come, extend today's highs, create a fresh pattern at the top here. Then we can look forward for a good sell if they react on either this gray zone or that H1 zone slightly above. So I'm going to leave this one on H1 so that we can nicely monitor price. Then going to be 1000, I feel like they are now possibly retracing because we've been pushing up for quite some time. So again, I want to see how they will react with the 16,000 area. But right now, it looks like this could be a reversal forming. So we don't want to put any money on B1000 today unless price comes back above the 50 and the 13 EMA, of which you can see based on the price action we're looking at right now. They are already breaking structures. An order block has been broken, retested, a structure has been broken. If a buy happens, it will most likely be a short retracement for a continuation of these sales currently happening. But if I do see something else form, I'll let you guys know. But for now, it looks like we are in a sell motion and we don't have anything. We might get some spikes around 16,000. We might, but if they do break, then it will be a major reversal happening on B1. So for now, nothing solid on B1. C5, we are actively stalking. C1, we are actively stalking. C3, we are waiting for the impulsive move. I'm honestly waiting for an impulsive move here so that I can know that this price is going down. Then after that, I can consider sells. We also have a nice order block which is being created currently, also in line with this broken order block. So yeah, if we do get that nice impulsive move, we will look for that retracement, then look for the sell. Then going to B500, yesterday I noticed it gave setups. It was like a double, what do you call it? Okay, I forgot the name I used, but it's a day where price gives those three pushes to the downside, then totally reverses and gives almost the same push back up to where the same move started. So I did not execute this because I think we had a nice day on B1 yesterday, so I did not look at that one. But looking at it today, what do we have? Okay, price looks like we are right on that zone on the daily, which we're waiting for them to tap. So most likely we could get buys, but I feel like the buy is what happened yesterday when they tapped the area yesterday and early hours of today as well. This buy here and this buy here. So two things can happen. Either price will break this and go towards the moving average, which is slightly below on the higher time frame, or we are going to respect this level again and get that short-term push up, because right now it also looks like this is a range. Let's just extend this line on H1, 64.10. That's the top of the range. Then the bottom part is where that daily zone is. So it's either price will bounce off, give us a setup, or they'll break and come slightly below. But if you see them come back in, just know that this price will definitely come back to these highs here. So that's what we're anticipating on B5. What will be the sign for us to start looking for buys? We're looking for something like bullish engulfing. We're looking for something like a doji. We're looking for something like a pin bar. Any reversal candle which we can get on this area can show us that we are getting that buy motion. Of course, the safe buys will always be above the 13 EMA here, for example, here, for example. So if price gives us something like this and we start getting those bullish candles coming, we should actually be active on buys, although the buys will be short term. But I think if that zone holds, we're going to get a quick short term buy. TDI is also trading half on top of the 50, half below the 50. So that also shows that price is in a range. So let's see what happens. We also will be actively stoking on B5. So B5, C5, C1, and C3. Then step, what's been going on with step? We've been awaiting potential buys. Yesterday, we said we would wait for today. So if you notice, we had nice pins on this gray zone, this gray support zone here. The only thing which is making me still wait is, if you notice here, TDI can easily bounce off here and continue down, which means they can easily do this. Long-term sells if we break this area here. But since I've been open to buys, yesterday we closed above these two dynamic resistance points. I'll be happy to buy anytime the daily candle turns bullish. We will be actively looking for a buy setup. So if the current day's candle turns bullish, we'll be looking for a buy. And that buy will be targeting the 200 EMA or this top zone here or this liquidity here. So anyway, up here, that will be the target if we can get something like this. But if price decides to push down and we break this level, then we're looking for a long-term sell. So we'll just keep stoking on step index as well. So just based on that information, okay, I just noticed we get a point of interest on H1. Okay, you see there's a zone, there's an order block within this support zone on the bottom here. So let me just check. Okay, so that means price can most likely push down. We can get that push down deep into this area here before we even get a buy. So let's just be open to buy again if price gives us a pattern anyway in this level here. We also have a FVG, fair value gaps, just above that order block. So that makes this a nice point of interest for potential buys. If we happen to break and come below, just know the sell will be in motion even below the zone, before the zone has been broken. But I'll keep giving you guys updates so that we can all be up to speed with how price is moving. Then lastly, J10. Yesterday, I think we're looking for a potential buy within this zone, if I'm not mistaken. Most likely, let's see the daily. Okay, zoom in. Yeah, we're most likely looking for a buy, but that buy, if you notice, it was just like a short-term move. We just came back up to this level here. We didn't take out this high. Now price looks like it's actually in a sell motion. Okay, so if we're in a sell motion and this is an impulsive move, and this is the retracement broken order block. Okay, I'm going to come back to the daily chart just now. Okay, so on the from the daily, we are right on the line. We are right on the 13 EMA. So price can go either way. We also have the 800 EMA just above the TP1, which we have on the smaller time frame there. So I feel like price can play out either way. So just be careful if you decide to trade this one. If you do take sells, remember that our daily zone is lying between TP1 and this 0.0 area, which is in line with this zone which was broken. Yeah, something like that. So if you're taking sells, I think this level can actually be a support zone. But if it gets broken, price will most likely melt and take out these lows. This is a daily dynamic support zone. So if we break it, I feel like we'll actually get a nice acceleration to take out these lows. And this pattern will be complete. So if I'm selling this, I would rather wait to come below the zone than take my trade. If I get a pattern inside here on M15, let's see, maybe we might get a pattern. We can consider selling from there in anticipation of the setup which I just explained. So looking at this price action, I'm looking for fair value gaps between these candles. So price is equally balanced until we get to the current candle. So if this candle, depending with how it closes, if it wicks up, it will mean this price is balanced all the way from the top. And the only thing which we can use for a sell would be this order block here. So right now, if this price can retrace into this order block, we can take sales, stop loss above this zone. Then we can use this gray zone, which we marked from the daily, as you take profit target. So there's the gray zone there. Then if we break the gray zone, we're looking forward for a retest. We're looking forward to add sales or to enter sales if you're not in the trade already, and look for take profit here. For now, I would say that's my view. If price decides to come back above this level, then they might continue pushing up. But for now, I feel like this is a point of interest on M15, and we can actually get a sell from that. So let's just wait, see how price reacts on that area. But everything for now lines up with the sell. So if we can get retracements, we break this level again. We get here, we scale out. If we break and retest, we scale in again, and we hold until we get to these days low, which is around this area here. So that's how I'm viewing this. If it comes up, then I'm not ready for a buy at the moment. So if it comes up, it means I'm not executing anything. So yeah, that's my view for J10. So just a recap. Step, we say they might potentially get down into this point of interest around 81.70. B5, we are waiting for H1 to give us something. We are most likely in a range and we can potentially get a short-term buy. B1000 is strong bearish breaking a structure and an order block. If we do get a buy, it's going to be a short-term. We just want to see how they will act around 16,000. C5, we're waiting for them above there. If they do start to show signs of sells, we might consider a sell, but I'm very open to seeing them come up here to the 200 EMA or the gray zone. But remember, we have to trade what price is showing us. So this is a fair value gap based on this. So we had a high extended. Our points of interest for sales are above, but based on what price is doing now, we've got a zone broken. If they respect this fair value gap and they show signs of wanting to come down, then we can consider sells. But right now, this is our point of interest, and we have to patiently wait. If they decide to drop like this, that means they might not come up here. They might not. So we just use whatever they leave us in here for us to get a sell trade. Then C1000, we want to see how they react on the current area where they are. If they react there, we're waiting to sell on the break of this order block here. Otherwise, this price might just continue pushing up and we'll most likely get a setup later. Then C3, I think we've got that impulsive move which we wanted, even though I still want them to come take out this low just to confirm direction. But otherwise, this order block is valid for sales. If price retraces up here, we'll most likely get a nice sell. Remember, we're looking for a setup which is looking almost like this. So impulsive move, patient for a retracement. Here, just be open to seeing something like this. So let's say they come below this zone, they might just come touch, then accelerate to the downside. So just be open to selling from here as well. But the best setup would actually be a nice retracement. Then we can look for a point of interest. So for now, this is a point of interest. If they leave something else here, if they drop, then I'll let you guys know. So I think that's it from me today. So C3, we're actively stalking. C1, actively stalking. Same applies to C5 and B5. But mainly B5, I think. Mainly B5. Let's keep our eyes on B5. If that zone holds, we'll definitely get a short-term buy. Then apart from that, I think that's it from today. That's it from me today, guys. I don't know if there's any questions. Do you guys have any questions? We've got about 10 minutes left. Is there any question or anything else you guys want me to look at or explain? Can we get NY session for yesterday? Okay, and NAS. Okay, that's fine. We'll let me check if we've got news today so that we can have a time where we'll be online. Okay, let's see. See 1000 you just got in. Okay, I'll get to it just now. So there is no news events today, meaning the move will most likely happen at 15:30. So we can plug in for a live session between 15:30 and 4 p.m. That's when we'll be looking for setups on US30 and Nasdaq. Same Zoom link. You can just use the same Zoom link. Should be online with a live analysis. C1000, you mentioned again. Just go in. Oh, you said, should I explain C1? Okay. C1 today, we're saying our point of interest is right on yesterday's high. If you see, we've got an 800 EMA here on H1, which is a dynamic resistance. So if price respects that area there, we're going to wait for them to break the order block first. By the time they come there, we'll be below the 13 EMA, giving us a sell bias coming back to the bottom of this range. Right. But if they don't do that, if they decide to continue pushing up, then they'll most likely be coming all the way to 55, let's say 55.10 area at the top here. So the bias will actually be bullish, which means we cannot really sell until we get an intraday reversal. So, but I'll advise you, I'll let you know when I'm entering because I'm actively stalking it as well. All right, I hope you answered there. I don't know, is there any other question, guys? Any other question? This particular price action usually shows a reversal. You see these candles, once you see an inverted hammer, do you notice that this price is actually bouncing off this zone, guys? I think we should actually get ready for a short-term buy here. Let's see, let's see. All right, once we break this zone, guys, we're going to get a short-term buy. Once we break 150, that's a short-term buy there. That trade is based off the last H1 candle. I've just realized we are bouncing off a zone which we broke yesterday and we didn't retest. Right there. And price will most likely be coming back up here. So it will just be a very short-term buy. Let's see how many pips. Is it worth it? It's actually 50 pips, so it's going to be worth it. So if we get any sign to actually buy, so M30 is showing the same thing. They've tricked price sellers here should be actually selling because they see this as a break below the 200 and a break below the zone, looking for a continuation sell, but the dealer will most likely retrace this price before they continue if they want to sell. That's what I'm currently seeing right now. Let's see M5. I'm only looking for reasons for an early entry right now because already I have a bias. That would be a very short-term buy though. So just know that if we get into this buy, we are not really looking forward for holding. Okay, I don't know if there's any questions, guys. So let's actively stock B1. Once we come above here, just enter. You can just have one position because it's a quick trade coming back to the 200. The trend is bearish, as we can see. So we're taking a quick buy. What we need is price to break a structure, come back above this dynamic resistance, which will become support, then come towards this dynamic resistance, which is also in order block. I hope that's making sense. Setup is based off H1 candlestick. Previous candlestick, that candlestick, they usually it's followed by a retracement. Might not be a long-term trade, but it's definitely a retracement which is going to happen. All right, so I think that's it for me today. Remember these levels, we had these buy limit levels yesterday after this move. We had buy limits from 61, 110 all the way into this area. So none of these zones was touched or retested. So excuse me, it could be that price is actually they want to actually bounce off those zones as well and push up. That's also where our bias is coming from. But remember, we are trading against the trend. We are literally on the other side of the moving average. So such setups become a bit advanced, or the probability of playing out usually is like a 50-50 chance. So you can take it only if you're seeing the same view as me. If not, let's rather wait for things like B1, waiting for H1 to close. So this will most likely trade it after the current H1 closes if they do respect the zone. So actively stalking, when we're actively stalking, basically this is what you'll be doing. You just be checking price action based on what you marked. Is price on my zone? If it's on my zone, should I continue analyzing on smaller time frames for a pattern? So right now, B1, I feel like we are on a zone, so we can actively stalk it. If we can get something we can use, anything we can use, then we can take a short-term buy. So for now, we're just waiting for price to come above 13,150. They might decide to extend. You notice on M10, we do have an 800 EMA. They might decide to extend, but then from here, they might throw a very, very huge spike, quick one. So yeah, let's also keep an eye on that area. So it's not a buy limit. We just want to wait for a reaction. So if they come here and they bounce, okay, so for those who are on mobile, you don't have access to the 10-minute time frame. So I'll just give you the price. If price gets to 16,070, you can just mark it on the phone, 16,070, and we get a spike and they break this last order block. Just know the next zone they're coming to break is this, and they will most likely stop here before they push down. Or who knows, they might still push up. But our setup for now is based on this level and this level. So 16,070 point of interest, 16,150 safe buy right here. Going to take a buy. So it looks like they will push up. So let's see what happens. I think that might be the early trade which we might actually end up taking today. The rest's price is still slowly pushing. So yeah, our eyes are on B1. If we get a gap, if you guys are confident about the setup, you can actually have one position. If you are seeing what I'm seeing, there's nothing wrong with having one position. If it's a loss, the loss is manageable. But we'll most likely get 50 pips out of this trade. Most likely get 50. If you take your buy here, your stop loss is right here. We're keeping it tight because remember our target is just here. But the safe buy is here. If we break above here, then that's the safe buy area. We might get a small retracement, but we're looking for something like that. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. We'll continue on Telegram. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good trading.